How's it going, guys and gals? My name is DividableHalo HD, and welcome back to another episode of Thoughts and Opinions. The last time I did a Thoughts and Opinions episode was, I believe, about 2 months ago, and the last time I did a Thoughts and Opinion episode about the Halo clan community was pretty much about 4 months ago. So I apologize for anyone that's missed the Thoughts and Opinions series, where pretty much I talk about and rant on about a certain topic of the Halo community or just the Halo clan community in general. So today, pretty much I am going to be doing a Thoughts and Opinion, as you guys can tell by this title, about 343 Industries killing the Halo clan community. So back in Halo Reach is arguably one of the best, or the time that the Halo clan community just thrived on. There was people that were pretty much having far successful clans with like people having at least 60 to 100 members, and that was pretty much just average for the small clan. The media for the Halo clan community was all around YouTube, and the number one channel where people pretty much would go to interact with other people would be the channel called Mr. General JB, where pretty much back then you could pretty much just type in the discussion tab and you just meet so much new people. There wasn't any kick chats, there wasn't any Facebook groups, there was no Discord, there was just nothing really to communicate. Pretty much if you wanted to get in contact with another clan leader, it was either through YouTube or it was through Xbox. And for pretty much this modern community now, where we have all this stuff of social media advertising our community, it's a bit honestly sad to see the Halo clan community being this small. And we have so much media interactions through Facebook, through Kick, through pretty much Discord and everything, and myself included, just advertising the Halo clan community, getting new people that are subscribing to my channel, figuring out what the Halo clan community is. It's just wondering why the Halo clan community is so small and why it's just suffering right now. And honestly, my opinion, it's 343 Industries. Honestly, if you guys look at the past Halo games, Halo 3 and Halo Reach were kind of the places where the Halo clan community took off. Yes, the clan community was around during Halo 2, however, it was still focused, I guess, more or less around competitive play, and it wasn't really the military clan community that we know. Halo Reach was obviously the game that it just blew up in, and we had so many great clans such as the Department of Defense, we had Voltage, we had V100, the United Nations, UUF, just so many multiple huge clans throughout Halo Reach. And as Halo 4 came out, that's when we started to see a dwindle in the Halo clan community. When Halo 4 came out, one of the biggest problems that was with Halo 4 was that it pretty much didn't really support the, I guess you would say, custom game community as a whole. One of the biggest things that was a problem with Halo 4 was there was no actual Forge World map until like a couple months later. And one of the biggest things that a lot of people complained about Halo 4 was it was getting too much, it was turning too much into, I guess you would say, Call of Duty. And a lot of the aspects of the game was just completely hardcore focused on pretty much competitive play, and it was kind of just being forced. And now this is the first game that 343 has released by themselves. So honestly, one of the biggest things that kind of hurt the Halo community as a whole was just 343 coming in and changing, kind of making Halo their own thing, which is honestly they have every right to do, but they kind of focused on the esport community more than they focused on just like the Halo community as a whole, like such as the Halo clan community, the Forge community, and just so many more tiny communities within this whole Halo community. Moving on to their next game, which is pretty much Halo the Master Chief Collection. A lot of people started to really just like drop Halo as a whole, and that honestly hurt the Halo clan community's numbers. Halo the Master Chief Collection had the biggest problem that a lot of people couldn't really just play the game as a whole. Like there was connection problems, there was like this whole Xbox Live Party limit at the time, and it wasn't really a good game to really have clans whatsoever, let alone a community. Now, Halo MCC had a lot of good maps to forge bases on, had a lot of good maps to just forge in general. However, just the game being shit with servers being shit in general, the Halo clan community really took a big stab. And one of the biggest things that we've seen with Halo 4 and Halo MCC is so many clans diverting back to Halo Reach. And I made it very clear a long time ago about my Halo Reach thoughts and opinions, I think it is, pretty much talking about Reach is dying, that the Halo clan community is dying as a whole because people are just staying on Reach. We're not attracting a new audience, and Honestly, one of the biggest things that draws people into the Halo clan community is obviously Halo in general, and if not much people are playing Halo, then not much people are going to be pretty much playing with the Halo clan community as a whole. Now moving on to Halo 5, honestly, it's better than Halo 4, it's better than Halo MCC, even if you were to combine them together. It has one of the best forgings, which has good maps, has a lot more new tools for it. It also had game modes such as Warzone, Arena, and just so many things that made Halo 5 more enjoyable. A lot of the old stuff that we loved about Halo included into Halo 5. The only biggest problem with Halo 5 was just the way it was just narrowed down, and I guess the way it was planned out. One of the biggest problems with Halo 5 was pretty much these monthly updates. Now, if many people can recall back to when Halo 5 was first released, it had the lowest Halo sales compared to all the Halo games released throughout these years. And the whole reason behind that is a lot of people did not want to pay for an unfinished game. In my pretty much rant and review video where I did Halo 5 is officially complete, I explained that pretty much it was only complete because all these games are finally included into the game and nothing else is really coming. Now, if anything else is really coming, it's going to be paid DLC. And honestly, that's a whole different topic that I could talk about later. But Halo 5, it didn't have a forge at all whatsoever. And one of the biggest things that a lot of people loved about Halo was Forge. And one of the biggest things that made the Halo clan community thrive was Forge and forging maps. A lot of other things came off it, such as custom games, and it honestly was just a big hurt for many communities within the Halo community. As like the Forge community didn't have Forge at launch. The Halo clan community couldn't do raids whatsoever or build maps because of Forge, and so many other game modes such as Infection, which was just released a couple months ago, which is insanely ridiculous. There was it just really had a big toll on the custom game community as a whole. So one of the biggest problems that I gotta say with Halo 5 Guardians is just the whole way it was executed. They wanted to keep player retention, and one of the biggest things within the Halo community that has a lot of player retention is the Halo clan community. If you guys are in the Halo clan community, you guys can pretty much know that you guys play Halo more than you should, especially considering that it gets boring if you don't have anything else to do on the game. The communities that kept people on Halo for such a long time were the Halo clan community, the Forge community, the custom games community, and one of the biggest things that Halo 5 was pushing for was the esport community, something that died down really fast and it's kind of coming to an end right now. Honestly, if 343 wanted to have player retention, they should have focused on the Halo clan community, the Forge community, just all these mini communities that literally kept people on Halo, aside from trying to attract people such as the esport community to the game. But honestly, for the future Halos, my opinion, for 343, if they're ever watching any of my videos, which I highly doubt, is that you guys should focus more on these communities within the Halo community, because these are the people that pretty much continue and keep playing Halo. And honestly, people start leaving Halo the minute that certain aspects of the game aren't included into it. But that is kind of it for my thoughts and opinions. If you guys have any thoughts, leave it down in the comments below. But this has been DividableHalo, and I'll talk to you guys all later. Bye.